Okay, welcome back to the class. We will continue the chapter. Today's the first question is, what are aqueous and non-aqueous solution? Okay, aqueous solution and non-aqueous solution differences. Aqueous solution is the solution in which water acts as a solvent. For example, milk with water, okay, then sugar with water, glucose, okay. If you add it, you will get solution. This type of solution, water acts as a solvent, in which water is a solvent. The solution in which water is a solvent, then we can say the solution is aqueous solution. Okay, but one condition, it should be solution, not mixer or pollution or anything else. What is solution? It is a homogeneous mixer. It is a mixer. What type of mixer? Homogeneous mixer. That condition you have to think and write. Okay, aqueous solution is a solution in which water acts as a solvent. And second one is non-aqueous solution. What is non-aqueous solution means? I will tell you example. Iodine dissolved in alcohol. Iodine in alcohol. Tincture of iodine is studied. What is tincture of iodine? It is an example of non-aqueous solution. This is called tincture of iodine. Mixture of iodine in ethanol or alcohol. This is a kind of alcohol. Example of alcohol. Ethanol. Iodine in ethanol is an example of what is a non-aqueous solution. This is called tincture of iodine. Why it is non-aqueous? Here, ethanol acts as a solvent other than water. In this solution, water is absent. In the place of water, if any other matter is added, that means solvent is added, then we can say non-aqueous solution. Aqueous solution, water acts as a solvent. In non-aqueous solution, other than water, act as a solvent. Here, who is the solvent? Not water, ethanol. Another example, sulfur in carbon disulfide. This is the example of non-aqueous solution. Sulfur dissolved in carbon disulfide solution. That means solvent. This is a solvent. Here not a water. Water is not a solvent. Here what we act as a solvent? Not water, which is that carbon disulfide. So the solution in which the solvent is other than water, then we can say the solution is non-aqueous solution. Okay, are you clear? Here in this solution, homogeneous solution. In this solution, water acts as a solvent. In this solution, other than water, like what to say, ethanol, carbon disulfide, these are the solvent. Understood? Let us move to next question. 31. Difference between element, compound and mixer. Difference between element, compound, mixer. Okay, I will tell you first example. Sodium element, hydrogen element, and here example of compound is hydrochloric acid. Okay, then what else you can say? Sodium chloride. These are compounds. And a mixer means, you know what is that? Sand in water. Sand in water or chalk in water. Okay, these are the examples. What is element? This element is a pure substance. These two are pure substance. Okay, these two are pure substance. And whereas this one I write pure. This is also pure. Impure. Okay, it is not pure. Okay, because it is a mixture of more than one substance. It is pure substance. Only one kind of substance is combined. Here also only NaCl. If you take NaCl, only NaCl is present. One salt is. Here mixture of two compounds. So it is called mixture. So it is also called impure. These two are pure form. Understood? And element is made up of atom or same kind of atom. This element formalize hydrogen element formalize H2. That means two hydrogen joined. Same kind of atom. Here different kind of atom. Sodium chlorine, sodium chloride salt. Two types of elements are combined. Sodium and chlorine. So it is called compound. More than one element is combined means it is called compound. Here same type of atom is joined, so it is element. One more example you can write N2, O3. Okay, this is another element. And here mixer O3 don't write. This is N2, H2. Then what is that? Helium, He. Only one atom. Neon. This and all element. Carbon, sulfur. Here compound you are clear. Mixer also you are clear. Now first point is it is pure substance. It is also pure substance, it is impure. Now, it is homogeneous. You know, pure substance are homogeneous in nature. Homogeneous, heterogeneous. Okay. Will it equally uniformly distributed throughout the solution? Sand in water, will the sand equally distributed throughout the solution? No, it is settled down. The concentration of sand will be more at the base. So uniformly will not be distributed. So it is not a homogeneous. These two are homogeneous. And next one is the components. We talk about components. I will tell you with example. Here you take water. The water is made from, water is a compound because more than one kind of element is or atom is added, combined, chemically combined. Hydrogen is one element, the other one is oxygen. They chemically combined. More than one atom combined, so it is a compound. More than one kind of atom or element. So I tell you, this water is formed from two type of gases, that is hydrogen and oxygen. They combine to form water. See the composition. It is made from oxygen and hydrogen. And oxygen is a gas, hydrogen is also gas, whereas water is a liquid. So, constitution of compound from which it made is different. The property is different. Its constituent properties are different. Its constituent from which the compound is made is different. Water is made from these two elements and these two are gases. It is a liquid, so property varies. Whereas in this mixer, sand you added to water. Will the property of sand varies? No. You can filter out sand is sand. Water is water. It does not change. Here changed. In compound it is totally changed. It is the constituent elements properties are different from this compound. Understood? So here what will you say? Constituent, you write constituent elements. I am writing it is a long sentence. Constituent elements from which the compound is made and is varies. Okay, constituent elements property from which the compound is made or varied. Oxygen, hydrogen, you can write with the example. Water is a compound. Water is made from hydrogen and oxygen gas, and hydrogen and oxygen are gas, but different type of gases, but water is a liquid. So the properties varies. The constituents from which the elements from which the compound is made different property. They have different. Here it remains same. So second property over. And third difference is It is chemically combined. Who is chemically combined? This one. How can you say chemically combined? This water is made from 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. The composition is fixed. If you add 2 hydrogen and 2 oxygen, it is another liquid, hydrogen peroxide. So it has fixed composition by mass or by weight. Okay. The constant elements have, the compounds have fixed composition. Okay, fixed composition. Whereas you are going to prepare tea or juice. Some people, 2 persons are going to prepare. This person may be adding more powder or more sugar. This person may be adding less sugar. But both are, what is a juice solution? So composition varies. Some is added, what is a more water or more sugar. The other one has added less water or less sugar or powder. Composition varies. The solution composition varies. Yes or no? So it is composition. Its constituent composition are not fixed. Understood? It is made from 2 atoms of hydrogen and 2 atoms of oxygen. That means they are in the fixed ratio. Elements combine to form compound in the fixed ratio. Whereas in mixer, it is not fixed. Understood? Here also hydrogen is 2 atoms of hydrogen joint. In hydrogen element, 2 atoms of hydrogen joint, fixed. In oxygen element, 2 atoms of oxygen joint. Okay. Here this is a compound. One bond is there. You will study later. Understood? It is fixed ratio by mass. Its composition is fixed, whereas it is not fixed. So fixed composition, and it's also fixed composition. It is not fixed. Fixed composition by mass. By mass. Here also same. Here not fixed composition. Understood? By mass means see here each hydrogen weight is 1. So here 2 hydrogens are there. So 2 is 1 oxygen weight is 16. 2 is 16. Weight of 1 mole of oxygen is 16. Weight of 2 mole of hydrogen is 2. So the ratio is 1:8. So that's what by mass. Understood? Their ratio varies. You can add how much sugar you want, you can add. How much water you want, you can add. But the solution you prepare. Both are sugar solution. So composition is varied and it has fixed composition. Here also fixed composition, here also fixed composition. Since it has fixed composition, melting point, boiling point are fixed. Here also melting point, boiling point are fixed because pure. They are pure substance. Here, if you add little sugar, water is 100 degrees Celsius. Boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius. If you add little salt, the boiling point will be increased, maybe 102 or 103. Some more salt you add, again it increases. It don't boil at 100 degrees. It boils at 110 or more than that. If you add some more salt, it again boiling point varies. So, will the boiling point is fixed? No. These are pure substance, so boiling point and melting point are fixed. Fixed boiling point and melting point. Here also fixed melting point, boiling point, here not fixed. Okay. It is the bond between 2 atoms are very strong. Okay, strong force of attraction between the atom. Here also between Na and Cl, bond between the force of attraction between 2 atoms are very strong. Here it is weak. Weak force of attraction between the particles. Here strong force of attraction. Here also strong force of attraction. Here it is weak force of attraction. So shall I write here? Weak force. Can you write? Now first point, what will you write? Element is pure substance, compound also pure, it is impure. And example you write hydrogen, oxygen element here. Here compound, any compound you can write it. NaCl, HCl, H2SO4, any salt or acid you can write. Mixer all you know already, we have studied. Sand in water and what is that? The chalk in water, this and all you can write. Second point, what you write? It is a homogeneous, it is a homogeneous, it is heterogeneous. And third point you write, it is a fixed composition. It's constant element, it has fixed composition by mass. The elements, constitution of elements, components of elements, fixed by its mass. Here also fixed by its mass. Here not fixed. Sugar with water, you can take any, how much, that is your wish. Any amount of salt and water, it is not fixed. Here I told you, water means you cannot take any amount. To prepare water you want fixed composition, 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen, then only you get water. If you want a fixed composition, if you want to prepare, if you add 2 atom of hydrogen, 2 atom of oxygen, you will get another liquid which we cannot drink, that is hydrogen peroxide. So it should be fixed. And the element hydrogen, only 2 atoms, free state molecules, it is fixed. 2 atoms of hydrogen combined, not 3 atom hydrogen. They never come, only 2 atoms combined. 1 atom also, they are not free state. They cannot exist. Nitrogen also N2, 2 atoms. You can see here 2 atoms of nitrogen combined. Oxygen also O2. It is fixed composition. There are 2 atoms are fixed. Here you know, it is also fixed composition to prepare the compound. Here to prepare the solution you can prepare, I told you. Mixer you can add how much you like. Since it is fixed, it has fixed boiling point, fixed melting point, fixed boiling point, melting point. Here not fixed melting and boiling point. Force of attraction between the atom is strong. Here also strong. Here it is weak. Can you write? Next. Next question is mixture of iron and sulfur. What will happen on heating and before heating? What will happen? First we study mixture of iron and sulfur without heating. We are not going to heat the mixer. Which is question 32. Iron and sulfur. Okay. You take the container, one china dish you take it, a round dish, in which you take iron and sulfur. Okay, sulfur is yellow in color. You know iron is what color? You know, grey color. These 2 powder you take it in the container, china dish you take it and mix it, stir it. Don't heat it, stir it. Understood? So you can say FeS, it is mixed. It is not homogeneous, heterogeneous. And now tell me, can you separate iron from this mixer? We can separate. How? Bring the iron piece and rub it over the mixer. And iron fillings cling to the which one? Magnet. Whereas sulfur remain in the container. We are separated. Sulfur remain in the container, iron remain with the, what is it, clinged with the iron rod, magnet. When you bring magnet, you are rubbing over this mixer, only iron filling will be clinged. Okay, iron filling will be clinged. And only sulfur remain in the container. We can separate the mixer. Otherwise, I taught you already, otherwise you add what solution? Carbon disulfide solution. You add carbon dioxide sulfide solution. Okay, what will happen? You add to this mixer, only it mixed with the sulfur. Sulfur dissolve in this solution and iron does not dissolve, and through filtration you can separate. Through filtration you can separate iron from the mixer. Understood? This is the way we can separate both. Either this method you follow or this method. Next question is, what will happen on heating this mixer? Okay, you are going to heat this mixer. What do you feel? What will happen on heating this mixer? The reaction occurs. What reaction? Chemical reaction. Iron react with the sulfur. They get enough temperature to react. They make a new bond and form iron sulfide. Okay, iron sulfide, new compound you get. Okay, now you are heated the container, that means heated the mixer, you got this compound. Now can you separate this iron and sulfur? No. How do you separate? We cannot separate now. Iron we cannot separate from this. Physically we cannot separate. Understood? Now question, what will happen on adding hydrochloric acid to this compound? What is the question? What will happen on adding hydrochloric acid to this heated compound? After heating, they don't say directly iron sulfide. After heating, you will get the compound. What will happen to the compound on adding hydrochloric acid to this? So you have to imagine it is a compound. On heating, you got a compound. So compound react with hydrochloric acid. You will get iron chloride plus hydrogen sulfide gas. Okay, you have to balance the equation and hydrogen sulfide gas you get. Hydrogen valency 1, sulfur valency 2. You will study later that valency. So you will get one gas. They will ask you the nature of gas. And rotten egg smell. Rotten egg smell. The smell is very foul smell you get. After adding this hydrochloric acid to this compound, you will get bad smell, foul smell, because of formation of hydrogen sulfide gas. Which gas? Hydrogen sulfide. Okay, in this question, 3 questions are mixed. Okay, interconnected. What are 3 questions? What will happen on mixing this iron and sulfur? How will you separate? Can you separate or how will you separate? Second question, after heating, what will happen? Can we separate the iron and sulfur? No, we got the compound. So what is the action of adding hydrochloric acid to this after heating to this mixer, that is to this compound? You will get the rotten egg foul smell, rotten egg smell. That is because of formation of hydrogen sulfide gas. Shall we move to next? Next one is water purification method. Okay, now you are going to purify the water. Why do you have to purify water? Because many impurities or waterborne disease carrying germs, something will be there in the water. So it is necessary to drink pure water. So what they do for this, and dam water, they will collect the water, river water or dam water, any water in the reservoir. They collect the water in the reservoir. They collect it. Then they allow, what is that? They flow this water into sedimentary tank. Which tank? Sedimentary tank. Okay. Then they allow this water to sedimentary tank. What is the purpose of this? Without disturbance, they will keep it for some time. So the heavy particles which are present in this water, they settle down slowly due to gravity. They will settle down slowly. Heavy object, they will settle down. Next, this water is allowed to, where it is allowed, loading tank. Only heavy impurities settle down. And top portion of the water is allowed to flow into loading tank, in which alum is added. What is added? Alum formula is potassium sulfate, aluminium sulfate. Aluminium valency 3, sulfate valency 2. Potassium valency 1, sulfate valency 2. Aluminium sulfate, potassium, aluminium sulfate. Okay, this is a complex salt, double salt we say, double salt. Alum we add. This is one salt, double salt. With 24 molecule of water. Okay, this is the alum formula. Many types of alum is there. Here iron also, with iron compound it is there. Now most popularly aluminium we are using. What is the purpose of alum? Alum powder they are adding. What is the purpose? Heavy impurities settle down. What about light impurities? They remain in the water. No? So whatever like a phosphate impurity like this. What they do this, as soon as you add alum, this phosphate like a light impurities stick to the alum. As many number of particles stick to the alum, over the alum, it becomes heavy. So it is settled down. Alum settled down along with the impurities because most of the impurities stick to the alum. Light impurities which are remain in the water, when you put this alum, they stick to the alum. The light impurities stick to the alum. So now this alum become heavy because many particles stick. So it is settled down. Now what we remove? Light impurities we remove. Next it is allowed to flow into filtration tank. Which tank? Filtration. Filtration tank, they will keep gravels, fine sand, like this they will keep. Some more filtration. If any impurities is remain in the solution, to remove the impurities, they will go for filtration, in which gravels and fine sand particles are kept. So if any impurities left, it will be removed. Finally it is allowed to chlorination tank, in which in water heavy impurities we removed here light impurities removed, and leftover impurities also removed here, and germs are present, microorganism, which causes waterborne disease like cholera, dysentery. So we got to kill that bacteria, microorganism. How will we kill? It will not help. The sedimentary and alum will not help in that. So they will add chlorine. Next tank is chlorination tank. What tank? Chlorination. Okay, chlorination tank, in which they add chlorine. Or chlorine related compound like bleaching powder, CaOCl. Chlorine, bleaching powder. Okay, CaOCl2, bleaching powder or chlorine. Because they have the efficient to kill the germs. So they will add, so germs also removed. Heavy impurities removed in sedimentary, light impurities removed in adding alum, that is in loading tank, and to kill the germs we pass the water to, allow the water to chlorination tank, in which we add chlorine. Now almost the water is pure. Now it is allowed to supply to each houses through the pipeline. Understood? This is the way we get pure water from the river or dam water. Understand? Then finally it is supplied to every houses through the pipeline linkage. Understood? Next, physical and chemical change. You know better than me. You know what is the physical and chemical change. What is physical chemical change? New substance is produced or no new substance is produced, because if it open again we can close, no new substance is produced. Or tearing the paper, it is a physical change. And chemical change, new substance are produced. No new substance, new substance are produced. And here no energy exchange take place, here energy exchange take place. And here what is there? it is a reversible reaction. It is irreversible. You don't get back the product. If you are burning this object, it is a chemical change because you will get new product. New product you will get, but irreversible, you don't get it back. So it is irreversible. Energy exchanging take place. Maybe absorbed or released. Exothermic, endothermic reaction you study later. Exchanging of energy take place. Here no exchanging of energy. Of energy. Okay. These are the difference between physical and chemical change. You can mention many examples. Next, heating the candle. Heating the candle is which involves both the physical as well as chemical change. Why means candle, mobati, candle when you burn, it melt and you get the wax again and again it solidifies. That means it change into solid. After melting it change into solid. Again we get the wax. So it is reversible. Yes or no? So it is a physical change. While burning, wick is there in between. In the middle of this matter, that means candle, one thread is there. What is that? Wick we say, thread. While burning, this thread also burn along with the wax. Some of the wax also which is around the thread. It also burns along with the thread. They liberate carbon dioxide and energy and all. So new product also we are getting. So that is chemical change also involved and physical change also involved in burning the candle. Why physical change? Some of the wax melts. Again we get the same wax. So we are getting back the wax. So it is physical. Why it is chemical? The wick thread, while burning the thread, it burns along with the wax. So it produces carbon dioxide and water and all. So new substance is produced. So it is a chemical change also. Both the physical and chemical change involved in burning of candle. Okay. All the best. This chapter is over. Then we go for revision later.